Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We are going to pop open a blend today. We're going to pop open Immortelle, the anti-aging blend.
Mm-hmm.
It smells good.
It does smell good. Kind of like a hint of floral, and then definitely tree oils, like woodsy grounding smells.
So the description on doTERRA's page is interesting because this is not how I would describe it clearly, but I'm also at a loss of words for description. So this will be helpful. They describe it as woody, spicy, rich, fresh. So to me, the word that I get out of that is the rich. Like I can smell the richness in it.
Yeah.
Fresh would not be the first thing I would describe because fresh to me smells citrusy, I think.
I agree. I don't smell fresh, but I do smell rich.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that goes with the grounding, like almost like a heaviness with the rich.
Yes. It's delicious though. It smells rich. I don't have a better way of describing it.
Is this rich people oil?
Yeah, it must be. It's got a lot of heavy hitters in it. Like if you wanted to combine all of the really, really nice oils, this would be the place to do it. So let me tell you what's in here. Okay. So we've got frankincense, Hawaiian sandalwood, lavender, myrrh, helichrysum, and rose.
Yeah. Yep. This one's pretty amazing. And all of those oils go perfectly with this. Like we said, it's an anti-aging blend. All of those oils individually are amazing for skin care and wrinkles and age spots. And so then combining them all together in one blend is awesome.
So now that we know what's in it, what do you smell the most of?
I think sandalwood.
That's exactly what I smell. Yeah.
Okay. Frankincense as well.
Yeah.
Sandalwood is the dominant one for me.
Yeah. And I like sandalwood. So yeah, this smells really good. So we both have powerful stories when it comes to the use of this oil. This is not one that I use daily or even I don't think to use often, but we've used it a couple of times for periods of time with great success. Would you like to tell your story first?
Yeah, sure. So I personally have had some cool experiences with this, but the story I'm going to share is actually about my mom. So my mom, a few years ago, was outside gardening and fell over and cut her eye like really bad. She actually hit a trash can and needed stitches. And thankfully, my dad was not home, but a neighbor happened to be outside and saw it happen. And he is an EMT, so he helped her, but took her to the hospital, and she got stitches and all that. And my mom is in her mid 70s, so of course her skin is a little bit different than younger skin. It takes longer for that to heal. And her neighbor even said, hey, you're probably going to have a scar from this. And so I saw my mom the day after the accident, and she was totally bruised and in a lot of pain. And so I gave her a choice of Immortelle or helichrysum, because helichrysum also helps with bruising. We talked about that in the last episode. So definitely go back and listen to that, or I guess 2 episodes ago. So go back and listen to that if you want to hear about helichrysum. But helichrysum is in this blend. So I gave her both and let her smell them and decide which one she wanted. And she wanted Immortelle because she loved the smell. And then what I did is I only had one roller bottle. And so I split it into 2 separate roller bottles so that I could have half and she could have half. And then I went ahead and added fractionated coconut oil on top of it. So this is such a powerful blend. I feel like it works better actually if I dilute it. Plus that way it just lasts a little longer.
So let's just take a minute for that because this is not diluted in the bottle.
Yeah.
And the purpose of dilution is so that it takes a little bit longer to absorb into your skin, and it helps decrease the sensitivity of putting it on the skin. So for oils that you're going to be using repetitively, I think it is important to dilute it. And so we will often dilute oils like this as well into multiple bottles because I think that dilution is actually beneficial.
Yeah, I agree. And I would roll this on a place, and then I would just take fractionated coconut oil or jojoba oil or something like that and rub it on top. But I also wanted to make it as simple as possible for my mom. So it just made sense to put this in 2 separate bottles and give her one of them. But I showed her how to apply it. Obviously, the cut and the stitches were right by her eye, and you don't want to get any oil in your eye. And so I had her kind of do a broad line around her eye, so around where the bruising was, but not so close to the actual eyeball, and just told her to reapply a few times a day. And she did that, and she pretty quickly started healing. And by the time she went back to have the stitches removed, which I feel like was 2 weeks later, she had zero bruising whatsoever. And the doctor was amazed. The nurses were amazed. They were just like, how old are you? How do you not have bruising? They had told her that she should expect bruising for over a month because it was so bad.
Wow.
And so she loves Immortelle and now tells all of her friends about Immortelle. And this is definitely an oil that she keeps in stock just in case. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Interesting. Well, I have opposite age spectrum here. So when my daughter was 5, she was at daycare and she was running to tell a friend that her mother was there, and she slipped. And when she slipped, she ran into the bottom of the door right at the edge of her chin line. So it's kind of on the side, kind of on the chin, but it's right where the face goes from vertical to horizontal. And they call us and they say, we are taking her to get stitches because it won't stop bleeding. So I have to meet them there, and she gets stitches to close this thing up. She's 5, right? Like, she doesn't care about scarring and stuff. But as we age, I think as women, especially, we don't want scars in certain places, especially on our face. And so early on, as soon as we got home, we started making big, broad circles around exactly like what you're talking about with the Immortelle. I had diluted it just because she was small, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too strong on her sensitive skin.
Yeah.
So we heavily diluted it, and we would just make big circles all the way around the area. Once the scar was completely closed and healed over, we started applying it right to it. And it's one thing when I'm doing it to myself, because I feel like I can remember to put something on pretty regularly when it's for me. I really struggle with that when I'm doing it for the kids, of keeping up with it as regular. So I would say that we were doing it daily for a week or two, and then we probably got to a couple every other day style thing. But we did it for probably at least a month, if not a little bit longer. You can't see the scar at all. Like, within months, you couldn't see the scar anyways. And so we would be talking about the story, and she'd have to like lift up her head, and we'd kind of have to feel both sides to just kind of figure out where it was, because it was pretty much erased at that point, which was nice to see. Yeah, because now she doesn't have to grow up with this, big scar on the side of her face and have to retell the story, even though she likes telling the story. But
she's got nothing to prove for it.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Way to go, Mom and Dad, ruining her good story.
Exactly. So yes, we were very impressed with Immortelle.
Yeah. So overall, this is a great oil for skin. I do know some people who use this daily just as part of their skincare regimen. Sounds like both Heather and I use it more for special occasions, special owie occasions, but it's a great oil to have. And it's a nice way to get all of the heavy hitters in one bottle.
Funny enough, the face serum that I have created that I use daily has frankincense, rose. Does it have lavender in it? I can't remember. So it's got at least 2 of these in it. I don't know why I couldn't just put a few drops of this in what I'm using anyways, but
hey, Heather, they make it conveniently in a roller already.
Oh boy.
And we will at some point do just a skincare specific podcast so that you can hear how we are using our oils and making our own things and what we do for our skin. So that will be coming in the near future. But in the meantime, highly recommend Immortelle for your own skincare.
And again, this is one of the higher price point items. This is where points really come in handy if you are a member, because you can save up your points and then you purchased an item like this with the points, and it feels like you're not having to spend so much money on a particular product. And again, this can be diluted down into multiple bottles if needed, because it's not diluted in the bottle that it comes in. So it sounds like both Meg and I have done that with it too, to extend the life of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're not sure what Heather's talking about with the points, We do have an entire podcast dedicated to the loyalty rewards order, and it's episode 19 of the podcast. So go listen to that. I will say one thing is outdated. One thing has changed, which is a really nice thing that's changed, is now you can get free shipping with orders over 100 PV. And so if you're not sure what PV is, again, go listen to episode 19. It will tell you all the best ways to save oil, best ways to save money on your oil purchases. So yeah. All right. Well, anything else about Immortelle?
Okay. Yes, I did want to talk about one more thing. So in the Essential Emotions book, you know how much I love to reference this, which is hilarious because I wouldn't have told you that I was an emotional connection person when it came to oils, but it's been really fun to kind of see what the different oils' emotional properties are.
Yes.
So for this one, it says Immortelle combines the power of high vibrational oils with grounding oils to assist the connection between spirit and body. It encourages positive states of being and supports the development of faith, hope, gratitude, kindness, love, patience, and trust. So you're applying it topically. You've got all of the positive things that are happening to your skin. And at the same time, you're receiving all of these other emotional, spiritual benefits. Love it.
Yes. Yes. That's beautiful. I'm so glad you remembered to share that. All right.
That's
well,
it.
Now anything else? Okay.
Nope.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for listening. If you want to connect with us, if you have any questions, we would love to have you join us on our monthly Ask Us Anything call. So it's a Zoom call, just 30 minutes, 7 p.m. Central Time, the third Thursday of every month, except for September's. And there's no structure to it. So jump on, connect with us, ask your questions. And then, of course, we always have social media as well. So Bottle Poppin' Podcast, wherever you want to connect with us, we would love to connect with you.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.